Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to second PUC accountancy online classes. In the previous class we have concluded retirement of a partner. Today we are going to take up a new concept, that is death of a partner. We have started partnership firm, joint partners, then gave retirement to partners. Now we are not killing the partners. If anyone dies, what should be the accounting procedure? That is what the topic of discussion today. So it is not it is not coming under, that is it is not a separate chapter coming under retirement itself, retirement of a partner and death of a partner, under that itself, isn't it? Retirement and death of a partner. So before moving on to the problems, let us know the basic things what we have to do here. Here the requirement in the exam is you have to prepare only the capital account of deceased partner or the executor's account of the deceased partner. That's the only thing you have to do here, because in board exam they will ask you only 6 marks, one problem. 6 marks, one problem, and you have to prepare either executor's account or capital account as per the requirement given in the problem. By seeing the problem, you have to solve the problem. That's all. No need to prepare revaluation account or combined capital accounts, balance sheet. Nothing is required here. Very simple chapter it is. Easily students can score 6 marks provided they concentrate on the critical things in this chapter. What is death of a partner? You know it very well. Ticket gets confirmed. One partner's ticket gets confirmed from, isn't it? From superpower. Then it is called death of a partner. Don't write like this in the examination. Death of a partner means a partner goes out of the firm because of that is death, isn't it? So when a partner expires, maybe because of ill health or whatever it is, when the partner expires, goes out of the firm, then he will be no more, isn't it? He will be no more. To whom the amount should be payable then? Question arises. A, B, C are partners in a firm. A, B and C are partners in a firm. A expires. So the amount payable to Mr. A should be paid to someone. To whom it should be paid? To the legal representatives, isn't it? Legal representatives are the executors of the deceased partner. They are the legal heirs of the deceased partner, isn't it? Executors are they may ask you who are executors in the exam, maybe 1 mark or 2 marks. Then you have to write executors are the legal representatives of the deceased partner. Suppose a person expires, Mr. A expires, his wife will get all the amount, isn't it? Wife is no more. Wife has already expired before him, then maybe children may be there, to them we have to pay as per the legal norms. We have to pay to the legal heirs who are the people who are supposed to receive legally the amount that should be payable to the deceased partner. They are called the executors of the deceased partner. Now the accounting procedure, what we have to do. See, let me tell you one by one what are the things that are to be payable to the deceased partner. First of all, we have to pay the capital balance, that is a capital available, isn't it? The capital contributed by the deceased partner at the beginning of the accounting year or earlier than that, whatever the capital balance at the beginning of the year in which the death occurs, isn't it? That should be paid. So what we will do is, we will prepare either capital account or executor's account as per the requirement in the problem. Make sure, very critical point here, I will open both the capital account and the executor's account. Capital account, suppose like this. This is executor's account. Executor's account. If they ask you to prepare capital account, you should open capital account. Most of the students in examination, they will open capital account. Whose capital account? Is it my capital account or your capital account? Isn't it? Question arises. So don't forget to write the name of the deceased partner. If A expires, isn't it? Then A's capital account. A's capital account you have to open. Then if they ask you to open executor's account, then A's executor's account. Otherwise question arises. Whose executors? Is it my executors or your executors? Isn't it? So you have to make sure that you will write the name of the partner who has expired. So write like this: A's capital account or A's executor's account as per the requirement in the problem. Then you will start with, suppose if you are opening the capital account, then there will be balance in his capital account. Am I correct? There will be capital in the balance sheet. If you refer, capital will be there. A, B, C. Capital will be shown separately in the balance sheet. Opening balance sheet, I am telling, in which the year occurs, in which the death occurs, in which year the death occurs. Correct. So there we have to write, starting point is by balance brought down. By balance brought down, because you are opening the capital account itself, you are taking the capital balance and you are writing here by balance brought down. But if you are opening executor's account, make sure don't write by balance brought down. You have to write by A's capital account. Is capital account, because executor's account gets opened with the balance of capital account of the deceased partner. So after preparing capital account, you will close this account and the final balance will be transferred to executor's account. Like, you will enter all the entries, you will make all the entries here on the credit side and debit side, then you will balance it. There will be credit balance, no doubt. Here debit side will be short and there will be more, that is a total. The total of credit side will be greater than the debit side. Then you will have a difference on the debit side, that means credit balance, right? Credit balance. So that should be transferred to executor's account. That is what the basic thing is. Try to understand this. So journal entry will be A's capital account debtor to A's executor's account. Transferred balancing figure. That's what you will do. Then what you will do? You will open A's executor's account now. So A's capital account debtor to A's executor's account. So A's executor's account gets credited by A's capital account. Are you getting me now? That is the reason here the starting point will be by A's capital account and not by balance brought down, because in the old balance sheet given in the examination as problem, in the balance sheet if you refer, you will not find any A's executor's account is not there in the balance sheet. So what you should do? You should start with A's capital account. A's capital account will be there in the balance sheet. So by balance brought down, when you open A's capital account, that is the main reason why we write like this at the beginning. Clear now? So that is the most important thing, and most of the students commit this mistake in the examination, and they will lose 1 mark for that. 1 mark. Then next part is whatever is payable to the deceased partner. Whatever is payable to the deceased partner should be credited. Whether you are opening executor's account or capital account makes no difference. Everything should be credited to their account. That's that account, isn't it? Whatever is payable to the deceased partner. Whatever is recoverable or whatever is already paid to the deceased partner during that particular period. from the date of last balance sheet till the date of death. Suppose the year starts on 1st April 2020 and the person expired on 30th September 2020. So there is a gap of 6 months. From 1st April to 30th September, there is a gap of 6 months. Am I correct? So during that time, whatever is paid to deceased partner should be deducted from his capital balance. Suppose we are supposed to get something from the college, isn't it? In the meantime, we have received something, we have already received this much of amount. Then what the college will do? The accounts department will deduct whatever amount we have already received from the amount receivable by us, and the net amount will be paid to us, isn't it? In the same way here, whatever amount is to be payable to the deceased partner will be credited to his capital or executor's account as the case may be, and whatever is already paid to him, isn't it, already paid to him or recoverable from him will be entered on the debit side of his account, debit side of capital account or executor's account as the case may be. Then final balance will be transferred, in this case to executor's account, is executor's account. If you are preparing as executor's account, then what you will do? You will write here to executor's loan account, executor's loan account. If payment is made, then to cash you will write, to cash. If nothing is mentioned in the problem, to executor's loan account, transferred balancing figure. That is the only thing you will write. That's all. Now, question arises, what are the things that are to be payable to the deceased partner, isn't it? One by one, let me tell you. First one is capital balance. You will write maybe 50,000 payable to the person. It is there in the balance sheet already. In the old balance sheet is there. Then any accumulated reserves or profits, like you have done under that is admission and retirement of a partner. Any accumulated profits or reserves appearing on the which side? Liability side of the balance sheet. Am I correct? Liability side of the balance sheet should be transferred to the opposite side. I already told you. So should be entered here, because that is the amount payable to the deceased partner. So you will write reserve fund or general reserve or profit and loss account appearing on the liability side of the balance sheet. That should be paid to him. Remember, while paying anything that is already appearing in the balance sheet, that balance sheet is not belonging to current year, that balance sheet belongs to previous years, isn't it? So the profit accumulated or reserve accumulated is not belonging to current year, it belongs to previous year, and he was there, the deceased partner was there fully during previous year. So anything that appears in the balance sheet, the deceased partner will get full share irrespective of the date of death. Make sure whatever is there in the balance sheet already in the previous year's balance sheet appearing on the liability side or asset side, accumulated profits or reserves or accumulated losses, in that the deceased partner will get full share irrespective of the date of death. Maybe the person has expired on 30th September, like in this case, in the first problem we will take up later. Only 6 months he was there during the current year, but previous year he was there fully, isn't it? And that accumulated reserve or profit belongs to last year, previous years. Maybe for the last 5 years, a certain percentage of profit is transferred to the profit and loss account or the general reserve, and the fund gets accumulated in the balance sheet on the liability side. Am I correct? So that in that the deceased partner will have full share irrespective of the date of death. You need not have to calculate till the date of death. So reserve amount into his share. Suppose 1 by 3. 20,000 is a reserve. 20,000 into 1 by 3. You have to credit it to that is a deceased partner. So that is what you have to do. If there is accumulated loss, same principle applies. you have to enter it on the debit side, that's all. To profit and loss account, accumulated loss, his share of loss should be calculated irrespective of the date of death, remember. Clear? Then what? Accumulated profits or losses you have credited. Current year profit, friends. They will tell you very clearly in the problem. What is the base to calculate current year's profit? Mostly they will say previous year's profit. Current year's profit payable to deceased partner should be based on previous year's profit. Previous year's profits will be given. Then what you have to do is, you have to calculate it till the date of death. Remember one simple formula. If it belongs to current year, pay till the date of death. Calculate till the date of death. Amount into his share into time period. That is 6 months, 6 by 12. Like that. If it belongs to current year. If it belongs to previous years, which already appears in the old balance sheet, then forget about the time period, straight away pay his share, that's all. Don't calculate till the date of death. That is a simple formula you should remember. Otherwise you will get confused. Remember. Sometimes what they will do is, they will give you yearly commission, yearly profit, like that. Then what you will do? You have to calculate it for the period he was surviving, isn't it? If he was there only for 6 months during current year, yearly commission is 12,000. Yearly commission is 12,000 suppose. And the partner was surviving only for 6 months. Then what you have to do is, you have to calculate only for 6 months. You should not credit with 12,000, you should credit the partner's capital account with 6,000 only. Because he was there only for 6 months, not full year. If it is given on monthly basis, monthly salary payable to Mr. A was rupees 2,000. Then you have to calculate till the date of death. He was there for 6 months, 2,000 rupees per month. That means 2,000 into 6 months, 12,000 rupees you have to credit, remember. Like that. So, anything belonging to current year should be calculated till the date of death only. Anything belongs to previous year or earlier years or which appears in the old balance sheet should be paid irrespective of the date of death. Straight away the amount into his share, that's all. No time period. Clear? Then even goodwill also. Goodwill they will tell you, that is average profit method. Mostly average profit method will be given. Sometimes they will give you straight away the goodwill amount, or they will give you goodwill of the firm will be given. You have to calculate the share of the deceased partner in the goodwill. Then you have to give credit to retiring partner by goodwill. But remember friends, goodwill occurs to a business concern after a longer period of time. The partners, they work very hard and they create goodwill for the business. Like maybe they work hard in the sense they have established customers trust them, isn't it? Or the quality of the product has been improved stage by stage. For the last 5 years they are doing continuous research and they are doing innovation in the product, so that the goodwill of the firm has increased. More number of customers are accepting the business, so the sales increases, and it is not that is a one-day job, isn't it? It is not altogether a magic that the firm will earn bumper profit within 24 hours. They will earn 20 bumper profits. It is not possible. They have to work hard. They have to create reputation for themselves. Then only the profit increases, goodwill gets created to the business. So, retiring, that is a deceased partner, was also there in the business for the last many years. And there is effort of deceased partner also to create goodwill for the firm. That is the reason the deceased partner should get full share of goodwill. I mean, if the goodwill of the firm is 30,000 and retiring partner's share is 1/3, don't calculate till the date of death. Straight away 30,000 into 1/3, 10,000 credit by goodwill account. Clear? So make difference regarding current years and previous years. Previous years always will be there in the balance sheet other than goodwill. Goodwill will be there somewhere, they will give you in the adjustment part. So goodwill also should be calculated for full, calculated in full without considering the date of death. Then what are the things that are coming during current year? I told you that is current year profit. How you will credit current year profit? What is the journal entry for current year profit? That is profit and loss suspense account. What is suspense account? We have studied in rectification of errors in first year, if I am not wrong, in accountancy. Do you remember the chapter? I think mostly you have kept it as option, isn't it? And you have left that chapter altogether, most of them. So rectification entry, you will pass and rectify the errors. So here, for that you will create a temporary account. Am I correct? You will create temporary account which is called suspense account. So suspense account is a temporary account which is open to do the adjustments, and it will be rectified, it will be cleared while the final accounts are prepared. Your trading and profit and loss account balance sheet is prepared. During that time, the rectification entry will be passed and the suspense account gets closed. So to adjust something, suspense account gets created. So you have to give debit to suspense account, profit and loss suspense account, debtor to executor's account, is executor's account. So you will credit the deceased partner's account, the capital account or executor's account as the case may be, by profit and loss suspense account. Remember friends, profit for current year will be calculated only till the date of death. Once the person expires, he will not be there in the business, isn't it? His name will be removed from the list. So what happens? Till the date of death, whatever profits earned, in that only he will have a share. After that, after his death, he was not there in the business, so no question of paying anything from profit. Whatever profits earned after his death, that is only because of the efforts of the remaining partners, not the deceased partner. So make sure that profit and loss suspense account is to be debited and retiring, that is executor's account should be credited. So executor's account is credited by profit and loss suspense account. Then what else? Interest on capital. Suppose there is a clause in the partnership deed to provide for interest on capital, then you have to calculate interest on capital only till the date of death. Because once the death occurs, the capital account will be closed and it will be transferred to his executor's account immediately. So no more capital in the business, correct? So no question of paying interest on capital after the date of death. So till the date of death only you have to calculate. Similarly, interest on drawings. Interest on drawings will appear on the debit side. Remember friends, drawings amount, if any, during that particular period, that is from the date of last balance sheet till the date of death, if there is any drawings made by the deceased partner, should be entered on the debit side of that is executors or capital account as the case may be. Interest on drawings also should be calculated till the date of death on the capital, that is opening capital, and it should be entered on the debit side of that is capital account or executors account. Remember. And you know it very well, if there is a loss in the business, interest on capital need not be provided, should not be provided. Then what are the other things that can be paid to deceased partner? First one is capital balance, then any accumulated profits or reserves appearing on the liability side, then what else? Interest on capital, isn't it? Income for the person, but this partner, then goodwill and current year profit. Then what can be recovered? One is already amount paid, drawings, then interest on drawings, that should be entered. Only two items will appear on the debit side and all other items will appear on the credit side, balance it and transfer it to, in that case, to A's executor's account. A's executor's account. In this case, A's executor's loan account. So that is what you have to do here. Very, very simple. If you remember this much of points, easily you can solve the problem. Okay? Yes. I will take up the problem in the next class. That is Ramesh, Prakash and Suresh. First problem is there. There are, I think, as much as 10 problems. We will solve all those 10 problems, and then we will close this chapter and we will move on to the dissolution of partnership firm. Now, take assignment. Who are the executors? Who are the executors? Who are the executors? Then second problem, whether goodwill should be provided to the deceased partner, in full as per his share, or till the date of death, Submit assignment on time. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.